evening. It is Wednesday night. I am Gail Benson, and I'm here on Where's YouTube channel with Gabbing with Gayl. And tonight, I promised y'all last week that I had a special guest coming on tonight. I have in our presence the author of Chronicles of a Mended Heart, the one and only Miss Shametra McGregor. Shametra, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It
Thank
is
you for
our
having
pleasure
me.
to have you. So before we get into this interview that I have just been waiting for, I just wanted to share with our Gabbing community and our YouTube community just a little bit about you. So and I'm going to be quick. I'm not going to go through the whole laundry list because this woman has experience and she has a heart of gold and a giving spirit. And with that being said, Shametra comes to us as an author. She's a philanthropist. She is an advocate. Her energy and her heart yields her to help people in need, women, just people, period, who need her services. She is the woman that has a heart of gold, and she does it with true intention, very dedicated and committed to what she does. And not only is she an advocate, Shametra is an entrepreneur. She is a business owner. And with that busy list of things, she is also a pet mama and a plant mom. So thank goodness. We are so appreciative of the time you gave us tonight with all of this stuff that you have going on. Shametra, welcome, welcome, welcome to Gabbing with Gayl.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so
So,
excited. Now we did like a little promo and we went live last week on your Instagram page. Do you mind sharing what your Instagram page is?
yes, it is Destiny_Olbali. Yeah, that's it, right? Destiny
Yeah.
underscore Olbali.
Or overly. So we went live on her Instagram and it was just she and I. And again, her energy is kinetic. We ended up with 4 people somehow on a panel on live, and we had a fantastic time. So I'm looking forward to tonight. I don't know how to bring other people on here because this is a recorded interview tonight, and you all know, but I know the day will come that somehow we're going to make that happen, and we're going to do it on Gabbing with Gayl.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. How excited.
Great. I know, I know. So, Shametra, I want to talk. We talk, a lot, but I just want to give us a structure of how we're going to talk tonight because we have 5 questions that we presented for
Okay.
Shametra. She's going to answer them for us. But what I do want to tell my gabbers that are on here, new subscribers and new viewers, if you have not already, I want you to like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe to this thing so we can come back and do this, engage, learn, grow, and coach each other through life because life definitely shows up life. And
Yes.
so, with that being said, um, we're going to go in and start asking questions, but I want you to feel free to leave comments for Shametra here
Sure.
on Gabbing with Gayl. And I
Sure.
do promise it to you that I will ensure that your questions that you have for her, I will get them over to her. If
Yes.
Shametra likes to, if she wants to share her contact information, we will have it in the description for you.
Yes.
If that's something that she wants to do, and we'll definitely get you in touch with her if you reach out. So with that being said, Shametra, I want to talk to you about your journey
Yeah.
and the journey that led you to writing your book. And the first question that I'm been curious about is that journey of acceptance.
So the journey of acceptance comes from walking the journey of learning who you are and learning
Mhm.
about boundaries and loving yourself. And that comes with your environment. It comes with understanding who you are as a person and your behaviors and what motivates you and what discourages you. So acceptance is something that was really near and dear to my heart because um, at a young age, when I decided to write this book, the book started as a journal, and it just started with me writing poems in a journal. And then that's the poems that you see. But those poems were from different aspects of my life. Like some of those poems I was 10, some of those poems I was 15, some of those poems I was 21. And it was a shift in my life from
Mm-hmm.
everything that happened, right? What started the book, what started the process of the book was me losing my mom and not having a support system around me of other people that may understand how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so in an effort to communicate with myself, but to try to get my emotions intact and just to process what was going on, right? And how I was processing things as a young girl with just, only child. Um, I decided I'm going to write a book. I'm just going to write. Well, actually, it just started as words in my diary. And
Mm-hmm.
and then I just kept writing and kept writing and kept writing and kept writing. And so it was a journey, and more so it was a way to express my emotions, and that's where the book came along.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's very therapeutic now because there's so much spotlight and attention
Yeah.
on people having given attention to mental health, and how do we express or take the time to alleviate ourselves of some of the weight that we carry. And for you to do that at a young age, to start doing that was just, the blessing in the beginning of the therapy that
Yeah.
traveled you over time, transition into from these poems in this book. You can tell as you progress from one life stage to the next, and like what emotion and what part of pain you were in at certain times. And
Yeah.
I think for someone who, I don't know where these people are that may have never experienced pain. I don't know where you are, but if you exist, leave me a comment because I want to see how you've been doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody that picks this book up will be able to connect with you on some level. And this, even one of the other readers, Lisette, she was saying the book was so heavy for her, and she was so excited when she started reading it, but she didn't know that she would connect so much with you and with the book.
Yeah.
So we thank you for taking the time to do that. But did you know at the time when you first started writing and journaling, did you know that's what you were doing? Did you know that this was a therapeutic thing for you to do, but it just made you feel better?
So I had a mentor. I had a big sister and I had a mentor. And it was those those ladies were placed in my life to help me to communicate, but to express what I was feeling. And I was a very shy kid back in the day. And I kind of still am now. I have my moments. I'm an ambivert, which means I
Mm-hmm.
have the best of worlds. I'm introverted, but I'm also extroverted. So I'm introverted based off of my environment, right? And if I don't feel like the environment is conducive to who I am at the time, right? Like if I'm having a moment and if I'm just, if I walk in and it seems heavy, I withdraw. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna shut down, just like this doesn't feel right, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I've always had those moments as a kid, and I felt socially awkward. And then I found out I was socially awkward. And that was another place in my life where I had to learn to accept, like, that's who I am. And it's okay. I don't have to be normal like everybody else, right? And I think we all have a level of abnormality in us that
Absolutely.
determines who we are. And sometimes I think that what keeps us from being our best selves is that we don't have the right people or the right places or the right elements around us that make us feel safe and make us feel free, right?
And
And
embrace the different part of us that everybody else doesn't have.
yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. I don't know if we should say awkward, but just different.
Yeah,
And that's what makes us who we are. That's our
yeah,
gift.
yeah, absolutely. And so, um, with having those young women around me, you know, and spending time with them. One of them gave me the journal that I had, and I was actually looking for that journal, but I don't have it. But anyways, one of them gave me a journal, and she didn't tell me what to do with it. She just gave it. And then I just started to write stuff in it. And the first poem that I wrote was called Grass. And I remember sitting under my tree at my grandma's house, and I was describing grass. It's just like crazy. And I don't like grass, but I like grass, but it makes me itch and it got bugs in it. And I had no idea what I was writing. I was writing the poem.
Expressing.
And expressing myself. And so I continued to write. And I remembered how when I wrote things, how it made me feel, and how that was my safe place. That was my safe space, right? And so I was like, I like this place that I'm in with my journal by myself. And I kind of like withdrew from the world and did more of that. Like, you know, my grandma would be like, go outside. And I'm like, I'm okay, you know, and I'd be in my room with the door closed with my journal. And and the things that I couldn't share with my friends or my family or friends or anybody for that matter, I would write in my journal. And then someone would upset me and I would write, you know, today this girl bullied me in school and I didn't understand why she did that because I didn't say anything to her and I don't know her. and then I would like read it and then go back and be like, why was she like trying to beat me up in school and I don't know her? And then when I got in my 20s, I was like, that was a logical question. Right. I just learned to use my words in a way that helped me to understand what my emotion was. But then the next step was, okay, how do I process that? How do I process that thing happened? How do I process being bullied? Like, who do I tell? Okay, I'm going to go back to my journal. I'm going to write about it. So that's when I just continue to write about things and people. And like, I was upset about, I wrote poems about me being mad at God because I lost my mom at a young age. And I was like, God, she believed in you. Why'd you take her from me like that? You know, like, that's not right. We went to church all the time, you know, and I would literally, like, the first person I think I'd ever been mad at in my life was God, because I was like, you took my mama from me and you left me here by myself. And what am I supposed to do? You know, and those were my, at 10 and, you know, and at 9, developing it to 10, those were my conversations with God. Is like, how could you do that? Like, I need you to tell me what's going on, you know? And it was so, when you were saying that, like, that was so raw and genuine, true, honest emotions and questions that you have, like, why did you do that? Because to a 10-year-old, that's what you associate that with. We went to church, she prayed, she believed in you, you know, she gave herself to you. Why did you take her? That is a genuine, vulnerable place of a 10-year-old. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. And so that's the book. That's how the book was developed. It stemmed from, it started with, you know, me losing my mom, but then I was traumatized in other areas of my life, and which made me to become an advocate to help other people that didn't have a voice. And I'm like, okay, Lord, like, I don't want to do all this stuff. Like, but what, you chose me for a reason. So I'm sure that you're going to protect me and cover me. And then I just grew into this person. You know, I it's like I blinked and I'm helping people. And it's, you know, ministry is a challenging thing. And when God calls you to do something, it's kind of like that fly that's in your house that you can't get out. Like, it just keeps buzzing around. until
Swat.
you so, right?
That's
And
so true.
it's like, and you're like, well, and that was my life. And and
Right.
I didn't feel like, sometimes I didn't feel like I had the capacity to
Mhm.
help people. But then it became so transparent, that a lot of the things that I've grown to overcome, I'm not going to say learn, because you can always learn a lesson, but you can never, some people just never grow from it because they're still trying to understand it. And they're
Right.
trying to wrap their head around, like, why did this happen to me? And I
Mhm.
feel like that I grow from situations, because when you grow, you develop into something more.
Bigger.
You
Mhm.
become the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
And so being the author and writing that book, and that the title is Chronicles of a Mended Heart, I'm thinking, oh yeah, like, I wrote this book, I'm healed.
Mhm.
That was just the
Mhm.
beginning.
Mhm.
That was just the beginning of my healing journey. I had other
Mhm.
things that I had to heal from.
Mhm.
And it was a challenge, but I hung in there. I did the work. And I'm not going to say, oh, I'm 95%. No, I never grow complacent to who I am right now and say that I'm this person, I'm healed in this, because life happens, and life be life, and
All
life,
the time.
life be life, and all the time. And I don't know who signed me up for this adulthood, but I need them to return
I
back to,
don't like it.
I don't
I
like it.
don't like it. I don't. But and I love that you said that, because I had a conversation with someone that, sometimes people who have experienced pain or trauma of some
Yeah.
sort, and they designate themselves as being healed because they can talk about healing and they can talk about their journey, but it doesn't mean that they have healed. They may have come to a place where they're able to maneuver around
Mhm.
trauma, pain, depression, anxiety. But a true moment of healing, it takes time, it takes work, it takes dedication. There's good days, there's bad days, there's ups and downs. There's some days where you like, you know what, bump this. I'm not doing this. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. I'm more comfortable with being in this place right here. I know how to deal with this. I don't know how to be healed. And
Yeah.
we don't know about how to be healed because no one showed. First of all, we were never taught about how to process our emotions and when things happen to us. So no, we don't know how to be healed. That's why we have to train ourselves how to treat ourselves. And then you teach people how to treat you in your healing journey. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you brought up healing.
Yeah.
And what from when did you start acknowledging that the work had to be done?
Um, I want to say I was in my mid 30s. Actually,
Mhm.
yeah, I was hot in my in my upper 20s, and in
Mhm.
my mid 30s when I said, you know what, like, this is not who
Mhm.
you are, and there's something going on, and like there needs to be something bigger than you to help you understand what's going on.
Right.
And so yeah.
That's awesome because we run. I know I have.
Yeah.
We run for so long and we put mercurochrome and band-aids and peroxide. We patch that wound up. We patch it up until you know what, there's no more space. We're bursting. We damn near septic because we have been packing and packing and packing. And then it takes so much more effort to unpack and then start acknowledging the things that we have packed away. For
Right.
me, that was the most painful part because once I packed it away, I had no intentions whatsoever to revisit because I was good at just putting it away and keep it moving, don't look back. But when I started to unpack, and sometimes we get forced to unpack, we never willingly unpack,
Mm-hmm.
never. We
Mm-hmm.
have to be catapulted into unpacking. I think
Mm-hmm.
now today, some people try to be a little more transparent about when we need help, when we need assistance. But I find, it's my opinion, that I do find that we are more often forced to unpack. And when we do that, we have to revisit the things that we forced ourselves to forget about. We force ourselves that we say we grew from or we healed from. No, we just put it away.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
just put it away. So that healing journey, even now, I'm still healing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, here I am years later. I'm never over my mother's death.
Yeah.
Never,
Yeah.
ever.
It's
Some
one of
days
those
are
things
just
you
better than
never
others.
get over. Yeah, it's one of those
Absolutely.
you never get over. Like people say, "Oh, you're gonna get over it," or you
No.
know, this is you eventually it'll turn, and it's like, no, I'm never gonna get over it. Like,
And that comes from a person who still has their mother.
yeah,
And
yeah,
until it's someone that has sat in this place where we sit,
yeah,
you know you will never get over it, but you understand how to grasp and use the tools to
yep,
help you have good days
yeah,
and to project your energy on the things and the parts of them that you do have that help fuel you to keep moving. That's what I do.
yeah.
I fuel myself with what she instilled in me. I fuel myself with what I have from her, my memories and the love. So, we are constantly healing. We're constantly growing if we allow ourselves, because everybody won't do that. So I want to talk to you about, we talked about healing, and I don't know how far you want to go into moving from after losing your mom. Luckily and thankfully, you had those mentors to help kind of guide you and gave you a tool, and
Mm-hmm,
they never gave you direction. You had inherently, you started journaling and
mm-hmm,
moving from basically expressing out your grief, because that's what you were doing,
mm-hmm,
expressing and writing out your grief,
mm-hmm,
getting to a point of acknowledging that you needed help healing.
mm-hmm,
How
mm-hmm.
did you find the strength and the to start trying to build towards being more confident that you can heal, you deserve to heal, and that you can heal, and you have everything you need to do it? How did you get the strength to get to that part of the journey, and how are you doing with it today?
I'm doing well with it today. I'm a human being. I think that people, as a believer, people expect me to be just holy art thou and never to make
Mhm.
mistakes or get mad about anything. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm a Christian and I curse. And I also drink wine. I'm human, right?
Right.
And I never subject myself to the outside world and what their expectations are of what I need to do and how I need to look a certain way to be accepted to do this thing.
Mhm.
And excuse me, and that's when I learned about acceptance
Mhm.
is just being who I am, being who God created me to be, not who man expects me to be.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I um, got to a place where I said, this is not who I am. I'm so hurt. And I don't know why I'm so hurt, why I'm going through all these emotions, why I have these walls around me. And it came from, me saying like, okay, I lost my mom. Like, and understanding like, okay, death is something that happens. That was my first death in my life that shook my world. And so
Mm.
I built up a wall with other people and not wanting people around me because I was like, okay, eventually they're going to die too. And I'm going to draw closer to them. I knew that I wasn't going to have the type of relationship that I had with them that I had with my mom. Me and my mom were extremely close. But
Mhm.
um, I knew that in order for me to have a meaningful life of me wanting to love people and people, and I want people to love on me, I had to get to a place where I had to be a little bit more transparent, but I also had to get to a place where I was more accepting of like my feelings and saying like it's okay to be hurt. But don't sit in it. It's okay to be leery of people and to be mindful, but because that's a skill. Like if you let everybody in your life be in your life just because they want to be in your life, either they can, it can crash and burn, or they can be good for you, right? And I'm a person that receives everybody, and so I had to learn to have boundaries because of who I am as a person, and God, and the way that God structured my heart. I'm very open to just saying, how can I help? I'm always the first person to be like, let me help, let me do something, let me do this, let me do that. And not to say that everybody's not worthy. It's not my position of, if God told me to bless you, it's not my question to ask why. And so, if I see a homeless person that needs $5 and all I got is $5, it's not my position to be like, or they're not deserving because of that. No, I'm gonna give it to them because I'm gonna trust that God is gonna give me, that He's gonna multiply, right? And so I knew that the person that lost their mom wasn't being their best self, and I wanted to live to my fullest potential, and I wanted to be the best person that I could be, thus said the Lord. And so I took an effort to work on that, and I'm still working on it because that's just who I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all are, the same. We are all works in progress. And,
Yep.
God continues to move us for a reason and
Yep.
takes us on different turns and over different, valleys and hills and mountains, because He moves us where He needs us to be. We don't always know what, where, who, or why, but as long as we're a willing participant, and I had to learn how to submit, because I had to understand what my role is. If we all have to understand what our role is in who we are, and the journey of finding out who we are is the first step. When we take the time to take the journey to find out who we are and understand what our role is, because sometimes we don't know what our role is, but we grow into it. Like you were saying, before you knew it, you were helping people, you were being an advocate, you were into philanthropy. And then here we are with this book that's helping somebody's, because I know this book is helping more than one person. So we have to acknowledge and allow ourselves to be moved and to be used. So once we allow ourselves, to be moved and to be used, we find ourselves growing and walking into our season, walking into our place where what we were made for, our destiny. So
Yes.
I want you, if you don't mind, if you want to share with people how to reach out to you, how to contact you if they'd like. You can say that now, and then I'll also put that in the description. If people come after the recording is published, and I will make sure that you all get in touch with this beautiful spirit, this wonderful woman, Shametra McGregor, so you can share your contact information if you like.
So if you want to contact me, you're welcome to locate me on Instagram. You can DM me. Like I said, I'm a very open, transparent person. It's Destiny_Olbali, which is OLBALI. If you're looking to get encouragement and you want to purchase my book, you can get it on Amazon.com or BarnesandNobles.com. And if you have any questions, I think Gayl and I are going to do a follow-up to this meeting on Wednesday.
Yes, on Wednesday, we are going to go live after this episode airs on YouTube at 7 p.m. on Wednesday for your midweek retreat. We are
Yes.
going to go live on Instagram. So what we want to make sure, if you are not following us on Instagram, please follow the Shametra at Destiny_Olbali on Instagram. You can follow me. You can follow Where's YouTube channel. You can find Where at WEAR_WBO, or you can follow me at Gayl Benson_Olbali on Instagram. And we will go live and answer questions to anyone who's seen tonight's episode and you want to pop over there and do a live Q&A and just join in the fun. It's always a good time when we get together. I'm
Yes.
so glad to have you here, Shametra. Thank you for sharing with us. I know you have given us your best and that you're recovering, and we wish you well. We are
Thank you.
praying for a healthy and a safe recovery for you.
Thank you.
Please take the time to go into the description, get her book, get encouraged, be inspired and empowered. You will find your acceptance for yourself, healing grace, and the strength to move forward with confidence. This is our wrap up for this episode of Gabbing with Gayl with the beautiful Shametra McGregor, who is the author of Chronicles of a Mended Heart. Please pick up your copy. Let this bless you. And remember, you have to come back next week for your midweek retreat with Gabbing with Gayl. I'm going to be talking to you about relationships. Ooh, honey. Y'all better be on this thing next week because it's going to be funny, but I'm going to be real with you. And it's about my own experiences. And baby, I have seen some days. So,
Yes.
Shametra, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. And we'll be back next week with you all. So, jump into it, chase your dreams, but don't just chase them. I want you to catch those dreams, shake them down, and step right in them and live in those dreams, baby. They're yours to have. So let's catch those dreams. Have a good night, Gabbers. I love you. Thank
Love
you,
you. Thanks for
Shametra.
having me. Good night.
Absolutely our pleasure. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Welcome to Cool Coffee Clique. Today we are showcasing our iridescent double wall tumbler. It is the perfect travel accessory you do not want to leave home without. Check the link in our description for our Olbali site to grab yours today. And don't forget your loved ones for the holiday.